Greetings all, for Ironman 601 here. Welcome back to War on the Sea, and welcome aboard USS New Jersey. Yeah, in her 1945 specification, pretty much. However, she is New Jersey, she is in Iowa. We have seen her many times before, so 99% the same, but you can see a whole lot more anti-aircraft mounts on her versus those Tomahawk and Harpoon armored box launchers that we're used to seeing from Cold Waters. But for the most part, she still pretty much looks like this even today. So yeah, good designs don't need to change much. We are here, I believe, in around the area of New Guinea, and we have got a contact out here. What is it? I believe that is an Ise class battleship, I think. We're going to find out. Oh, look at this. Yeah, that is Ise, and in tow she has got a destroyer, which I don't think we have picked up on yet. Turn on our radars. However, methinks this is going to be a little bit like the fish in a barrel situation. So let's start making some speed, and let's start turning toward their position. I want left rudder, yes. New Jersey reports new contact bearing 045. There's something out there. Yeah, there's definitely something out there on the horizon. Well, that is interesting. So rudder amidships. Let's go to our main battery plot. Let's see what we could do here in terms of trying to target things. Our control directors are turning. We can build up a firing solution on this. Okay, they're shooting at us. Yes, they are. You heard the sonic boom just before the shell impacted. So, yeah, they see us. They know we're here. I've got 44, 46, 48%. Okay, so we're building up a fire control solution pretty quick on this. Which tells me that not only do they know we're here, but they are close enough to be engaging with their main battery guns, which means that because American gunnery is vastly superior to Japanese gunnery, we should be able to deal with them. So let's position the ship here into... Oof. Yeah, let's position the ship into a broadside capable position. Right about here. Should be fine. Let's go for spot in terms of directing the main battery. We've got all three turrets slewing to position. And loose main battery. Oh yeah. Meanwhile, damage control. We did get a hit to the top of turret 2, apparently. Not a big deal. Damage is minor, no flooding. No problems with turret 2. There is an anti-aircraft mount on top of turret 2, but, you know, things to consider. That is never going to get old. I love the effects of these guns firing in this game. They are much more appropriate in terms of what that actually would have looked like. Ise is opening up with her main battery guns. That was just firing from the aft turrets because apparently we are not at an ideal angle as far as they're concerned. So that's good news for us, but our shells are still in flight. By the time they land, see where they are if they land anywhere close. Ooh, yeah, look at that. That's some good stuff. That is some properly good stuff right there, I must say. Hard to tell if we've scored any hits here on Ise. I don't think we have, but it's notable that Ise here still has all of her main battery turrets. She does not have catapults or a flight deck, so she has not yet been outfitted to carry airplanes as a hybrid battle carrier, although she is now starting to maneuver into a position that is a little bit more habile for main battery broadsides. You see splashes in the water. We're still firing on them, and again, there are 2 ships there. I've only picked up 1 so far, but they are both out there. "24,000 yards out." That is utterly tremendous. Yeah, they are definitely altering course. A lot of their shots are landing well short, which is good news for us. I'm not going to complain about that. Angle has gotten a little bit too harsh for turret 3. We're just going to alter that a bit. Alright, turret 3 is able to loose again. Alright. Gonna hold fire on all of these batteries. We're gonna let them reload. Because they're coming right at us. Let the ship coast down a little bit in speed, mess up their range keepers. In the meantime, main battery, open fire. How we doing here with Ise? Yep, they have changed formation. Destroyer's opening up with some guns now, too. They're just coming straight at us. Not entirely sure how advisable that is. Alright, there was our last broadside. So we are not quite on target at this point either. We are trying. Some of those splashes out in the distance are from the destroyer's guns, I do believe. Secondary battery, let's get them in on the action. We can now identify that contact as an Ise-class battleship. I think the secondary battery is just a little bit out of range still because they have not opened fire. I'm just going to tell them to cease fire for the moment. But that's okay. That is perfectly acceptable. Still some splashes out there. Alter course a little bit. Ah, I saw some of those shells landing. Saw them in flight. That's cool. That is absolutely cool. Love that shockwave and optical distortion effects that you get. That seems pretty authentic. I mean, we'll never see these guns fire again in all likelihood, but I'd imagine that if you were looking at this stuff with HD cameras and stuff, you would see that expanding bubble of pressure differential, and it would add a distortion to everything behind it. That would be cool. Saw those shells landing again. $19,500 mark. All right. New contact, number 2, it's a ship bearing 026. So we now can see that destroyer that is following Ise. Ise, I think, had 12 or 13-inch guns. So we're not talking about something that is particularly not well armed, but we are superior. You can see Ise is a couple generations behind the Iowa design. We've got external armored belt and torpedo blisters, whereas the Iowas don't really have torpedo blisters. And again, Ise was later converted to be what we called a battle carrier, a hybrid battleship aircraft carrier. Okay, we're hit. We are hit a little bit, but I think that was from one of the destroyer's main guns. That's not going to affect us. We get our secondary battery in once again. Yep, we are hit. We have lost. Yeah, we have lost the secondary battery on the port side for the time being. Damage control parties are already there. Main battery still doing its job. Meanwhile, Ise has been hit. She's on fire. As far as we're concerned, we've got a 96% fire control solution. 98, 96. So basically as good as it can get. Wait for these shells to come in. Ise now launching with her secondary battery as well. See those shells leaving. We scored another hit on her. That's good stuff. Below the water line, can we see anything? No, not particularly. Maybe a little bit there along the bow. She might be running a little bit lower in the water. Hard to say. Yeah. We are getting hit. Damage control. Yeah, we got some damage to the conning tower. Too bad. Secondary battery. Secondary battery is now able to engage, I think. And we're working on it. Saw those shells coming in. Again, it's it's a little bit terrifying. Yeah, secondary battery is now engaging. Hit again. Very minor damage. Ise is still on fire. Or actually, I think Ise is now laying smoke. But she's battered. Look at that. Forward section, she is sitting lower in the water than normal. We've lost the secondary battery again. It's 5-inch 38s. They are armored turrets, but they're nowhere near as heavily armored as the main battery guns. They've got over 17 inches of armor in certain places, so definitely a little bit more vulnerable. Our fire control solution has dropped off pretty significantly. But Ise is definitely in some trouble here. Release batteries one more time. Okay, I'm going to tell ceasefire on the secondaries and ceasefire on the primary battery. I am going to begin to lay smoke, and we're going to steer course hard over to port. We're going to start to pursue these guys directly. Damage control situation. We do have some hits here to the armored belt. We have no flooding, so we're okay. They have turned pretty much due north, so we are going to follow. Yeah, main battery, let's open them up again. Yeah, Ise is hit bad, and they have completely broken formation now. That destroyer is heading right for us. I'd much rather deal with the battleship, but he's running away, and that destroyer is coming at us. So at this point, I think it might be better to start firing on the destroyer. Ooh, yeah, shells are coming in hard and fast. Target the destroyer. Start running fire control solutions on him. Slow him right down. %54 fire control solution. All right. Start shooting at him anyway and see what we could do. Secondary batteries. Not sure if we're close enough. That is a Kagero-class destroyer. I can see him now. Yep. There he is. See Ise out there as well. Our shells are not landing all that close, I don't think. Is he hit? He is hit. We have actually hit him. That's good. He is on fire, and that's going to be a problem. There's our smoke screen. Unfortunately, it is just painting a picture for him as to our precise location. So that's not helping us, really. All right, secondary battery is getting in on the action now. That's good. Hold fire. Wait for turret 3 to reload. Now, of course, he is a lot smaller and a lot more maneuverable than we are. However, also means as we hit him, he's going to be in trouble a lot sooner than we'll be. Ooh. He's been hit again, I think. Yeah. He is suffering some damage above and below the waterline, and that fire is not helping his cause. That was big. That was pretty devastating. I can see our guns firing from here. We have a 99% fire control solution for him. So we are zeroed in now. He's hit. That was a bad hit, too. His engines are still going, but he is sitting lower in the water for sure. Got a big fire involving most of the ship at this point. We've just fired another salvo. Ooh, yeah. He's sinking. Yeah, he's lost power. And I'm pretty sure that he is about to founder. Yep, he is sinking. All right, ceasefire, main and secondary batteries. Yep, he is healing over. Okay, so Ise, now, where are you? How are you doing, Ise? Okay. He is still firing on us. So we know that much. Target mode, Ise, Fire Control Director slewing over. Lay some smoke, because why not? That's our fire control solution. 42% so far. Range is 21,000 yards. Damage control situation, we have made pretty much all the repairs we can make while at sea. Some damage to the peak tank as well as to one of the outboard tanks along the port side, but no real problem. Nothing that's going to hurt us long term. We're sitting here at 46% fire control solution on Ise at 21,000 yards. He is still landing shells close, but not quite close enough. His speed is 21 knots. We're doing 30 knots, so we could catch him if we want. We're going to try. He's still working on ranging us. Smoke may or may not help him. I really don't know. Regardless, main battery, open fire. Obviously just the forward battery here, but he is already quite badly hit, and he is only using his aftmost turrets. He's got 2 turrets on the aft. He has got 6 in total, though. He has 12 main guns. We have 9, but our guns are bigger. We are closing on him, though, slowly but surely. Our shells are landing a little bit short, but they are coming in on him. All of these things are very good. Very good indeed. His shells are landing well aft of us, so he's overshooting. It would appear that we're undershooting a bit. We are undershooting, but not by much. Our solution is now 70%. So with every salvo that we fire, we see the fall of shot, and we're able to refine our aim. Makes sense. He is still laying a smoke screen. It's not helping you. Meanwhile, Kagero is down. Where is Kagero? He's completely he's completely submerged. Meanwhile, Ise, yeah, our shots are getting closer. Can't see his smoke trail out in front of us. He's having trouble ranging us. He's close, but he's not accurate. He's precise, but he's not accurate. There's a difference. We are actually approaching the vicinity of the sunken Kagero. He is right over there. Fire control solution remains around 66 to 70%. Now our shots are landing a little bit forward. Seems like he's gotten the damage that he already has under control. Good on his damage control, guys. $20,000 yards. Right, his shots are getting closer again. Not seeing any damage from that. But again, he is ranging us. Just as we are trying to range him. We will figure out where this is going. I do like those flyby shots, I must say. And I also like when you're further out, you can see when we fire our main battery, you can see those shells flying out there. That's really cool. 72% fire control solution. Can stop laying smoke. And it doesn't seem to be having much of an effect on his accuracy, as we are not hit, at least not severely. We are 19,350 yards and closing. Meanwhile, I'll take a look over to port. Whatever's left of Kagero is down there. I can see flashes out in the distance whenever Ise fires. So I know we're basically within visual range to the naked eye. Obviously, the fire control directors are seeing our fall of shot and all of that. (72%), 76%. Just taking a look at our firing solution. He can't see any bit of our smoke screen anyway. Maybe with his optics he can, but not from the deck. But what's interesting about this kind of thing, he's now turning. What's interesting about this, in the way that it was done in these days, and basically as long as there were things such as battleships, as far as we would consider them, it was all done with science and math and analog stuff. You had to see a target in order to shoot at it. And then if you were going to shoot at it, you needed a system to control your guns that was going to be precise enough so that you could have a chance of shooting at it. He's turned to a position where he can put more shells down range. I think it may behoove us to do something similar. Hold your fire, main battery. We are now going to start turning, and again, this exposes us a little bit in terms of presenting more of the ship toward him, but it's going to allow us, you can see turret 3 slewing around to compensate, it's going to allow us to put more shells on target. We're hit. We are hit. That was a secondary battery hit from Ise, I believe. All right. Our damage control situation. Little bit of a hit there on the secondary battery, 55% integrity. However, we're going to tell the secondary battery to engage as much as possible. And our primary battery does that. I think we are still a little bit too far out for the secondary battery, so whatever. Ceasefire. Secondary battery guys are getting off easy today. Main battery, though. I accidentally told the main battery to cease fire. Don't do that. Alright, main battery release. I definitely appreciate that more than the way that that works in cold waters, for example, because when you just tell the guns to engage, they're going to fire whenever they're going to fire. I like being able to control by looking at the loading times and whatnot. I like being able to say, okay, fire now. It just looks cool. He's going to run aground if he's not careful. And he's still laying smoke. The smoke screen, obviously it's coming out of the funnel. I think the way that they do that, that was probably a hit. But I think the way that they do that is they just richen up the fuel mixture so that they are having an incomplete combustion in the boilers, and it just creates a ton of this fuel smoke. I know that on the Iowas at very least, because I've seen it demonstrated on the USS New Jersey when I visited, you can see that in the engine rooms there is a periscope that comes out and it looks over the top of the funnels. And you would think, why do you need to see over the tops of the funnels? And the reason for that is they were looking to see what color their smoke was. Because if you wanted to be undetectable on the horizon, you would want basically no smoke coming out of those funnels. If you have optimal combustion, you shouldn't have any visible smoke. You just want a clear heat haze coming out of the funnels. But if you want to lay a smoke screen, you need to change your fuel mixture. So in other words, richen it up so that you're not burning all the fuel that's being sent through the injector rails in the boilers, so that you get a lot of carbon and stuff coming up out of the funnels, because that's going to hang in the air and obscure your position optically. It is going to give away your position in practice, because you'll be able to see ultimately where that smoke is emanating from, and then you'll deduce, okay, there must be a ship there. But if you can't specifically determine where the ship is, you can't use your optical rangefinders to get a bearing and a lock on that target. So I can see where in World War II that was useful, because again, this is all analog, it's all optical. Radar was a thing, but it wasn't nearly as high fidelity as it is nowadays, and of course there was effectively no such thing as sonar. So in those days it made sense. In terms of the Iowas in particular, when they were reactivated in the 80s, no, we're looking at electronic countermeasures and things like that to try and either obscure a ship's position or just to confuse incoming missiles outright. But in these days, things like smoke screens made sense. And again, you did that by manipulating the fuel mixture in your boilers. Oh, it's tremendous. Hold your fire, main battery. Need to do some more course corrections. Actually, main battery, ceasefire. Get the turrets back to the parked position. We need to close in a little bit more on Ise, I think. In the meantime, let's lay some smoke. Not that it does much, but we'll do it. Rudder amidships. Good. I want to close as fast as possible on Ise. His speed is still 20 knots. We're doing 27 knots and still accelerating. So we'll continue to close distance. That sounded like a hit to me. That was a hit on the forward funnel. Minor damage. Yeah, they'll deal with that. Again, you might think, why do we care about funnels? But again, these are the only ways that we ventilate the ship, and it's the only ways that we get the exhaust of our combustion byproducts out from the fire rooms and things like that. So they are important, despite them being just completely passive structures. Ise has done a pretty dramatic change of course. We're going to do the same. Again, we want to keep our bow effectively perpendicular to hers so that we can close distance as efficiently as possible. How are you doing, Ise? Yeah, she's still maneuvering pretty wildly. We got to start returning fire again. Our fire control solution has dropped to just 50%. That's not great, but open fire, main battery, and just do your thing. We are 17,000 yards out. I can see the flashes on the horizon from Ise. Right about here, I would say. Take a look. There she is. Okay. I can see your smoke screen now. Apparently it does something, but it doesn't do anything for me, so we're just going to stop it again. Hit again. Looked like the aft funnel. Yep. Forward funnel is still under repair. 99% integrity. 53% integrity on the aft funnel. I think she's engaging now with her secondary guns. So again, we're going to try. Again, we've been pretty much unsuccessful in engaging with our secondary battery so far. Let's see if they can do anything from 16,000 yards. Forward main battery is doing its thing. Gonna lay some more smoke just for the hell of it. All right, Ise is now turning directly toward us, which is probably the dumbest thing they could possibly do, because I'm trying to close distance so that I get a better hit rate on them. Starboard secondary battery has been hit. What is the integrity of that? 99%, not a big deal. Let's just open ourselves up for full broadside now, because at this point, as our secondary battery starts to engage, at this point we're kind of just every man for himself. Whoever scores critical hits first is going to win. All right, they're starting to score some critical hits, so we need to be working on this. Okay, all 9 guns are able to engage at this point. Now the smoke screen makes sense. Now you can see that we're running perpendicular to our own smoke screen, which means that they're going to be obscured from Ise's position. Our shots are landing very close as well. And here's our smoke screen. That's cool. That's actually pretty cool. Shells landing out there. Yeah. Can't see from the binocular view from Ise's perspective, but from our own view, look at this. We're now traveling in the same direction as our smoke, which means that their firing solution for us is going to be severely hindered. This is where the smoke screen makes sense. But they still have a bead on us pretty good. Hold fire, let's let all the turrets reload. Damage control, we have got damage control to the starboard side. Outboard tanks. Integrity is 94%, so 15-inch armor there. And some more hits aft. This really is that ship-to-ship combat that the Iowas never really got to see. All right, main battery, fire. It's just more satisfying to me to have the main battery turrets all firing in unison. I know it's not exactly the best way to do it, but it's cool to me. We are hit again. And we're already now out of the effective range of turret 3. Secondary battery still doing its thing. Rudder amidships. Still closing in on Ise. That was a hit. His speed is dropping. He's on fire. Yep, he is on fire. The aft, what appears to be the aft fire control director, around the vicinities of turrets 5 and 6. That's interesting. And again, seeing the same sort of thing that we saw in the beginning with those first couple of hits, it doesn't look like she's quite sitting straight and level in the water. That was a hit right around turret 2 or the conning tower area. More hits. Looks like he's got those fires under control. But we are just absolutely raining down 2,700-pound projectiles. See some smoke from our vicinity. Let's take a look. We're on fire too. Okay, damage control. What's going on? Yeah, we're on fire. We are definitely on fire, and we've got... Do we have flooding in that forward compartment? I certainly hope not. Ise has been hit severely. She's almost stopped. 98% firing solution. She's still opening up with her main battery. She's going to fight to the bitter end, isn't she? But we are far from out of the woods here. We are properly in trouble. We do have a fire in the vicinity of turret 1. Throw our engines into reverse now and just hope that we're able to disappear into our own smoke screen. All right, he is on fire. Can confirm that. He has stopped his engines, probably because they're disabled, and you see his aft turrets there, they're completely disheveled. And he has a pretty severe port list. So he's got some severe flooding. But his forward and midships turrets are still able to engage. Looks like the super firing aft turret might be able to engage as well, but we're still trying. I think our damage control parties have gotten that fire under control. Yes, they have. We still have flooding in that compartment, but again, we're going to try. Otherwise, we have damage to the bridge, almost completely repaired. We have got secondary guns. Main guns are okay. Yeah, Ise is properly going down by the head at this point. Have a look. See that anti-fouling paint is now staying above the water. Main battery, basically it is only her aft turrets that are able to do anything. We have just scored more hits. Saw her shells landing there. Yeah. Right, main battery, hold fire. Let them reload. We'll release the forward battery one more time. Right, hold fire. We'll let turret 3 get in on the action. Secondary battery is still doing its thing, I think. Hits on a funnel. It's on that forward compartment. We've controlled the flooding. We've gotten him out of there, so that's good. Alright, rudder amidships. Secondary battery's doing its thing. Main battery, fire. Yeah, Ise is on fire in at least 3 places. Yep, more hits. Looks like we kind of know how this is going to play out now. Yep, even more hits. That's good. Come on. Take him out. Yep, he's hit again. And again. Another fire has started, I think. That is a severe port list. Look underwater. Yeah, he is significantly down by the head, and he is listing to port. His engines are still stopped. That aft turret has never come back into line with the others. At this point, we are just laying down fire. That's just colossal. Yeah, those were some hits. And some more hits. He just dropped in the water some more, I think. He's not sunk yet. He is not sunk yet, but we can't be far from it. He's got water up to his secondary gun deck. Yep, more hits. Fires are not getting any better for him. We're 9,000 yards. Ise is going down. Ise is sinking. All right. So, ceasefire, primary and secondary batteries. Fire control directors are neutralized. We do have flooding in the peak tank. Navigation bridge under repair. Starboard side battery, secondary battery under repair. Peak tank is... we do have damage control parties out. We have this situation under control. Ise is going down in the meantime. That's cool. Steer course in the general direction of Ise. It took 1 hour and 4 minutes, but there it is. That smoke there is from the fires aboard Ise. Yeah. Below the water, and you can see, yeah, he's just been pummeled. I don't know how many hits he took from our main guns, but he took quite a few. And he held up surprisingly well. However, not well enough. Even when we go 80 years in the past, what reigns supreme? It is the Iowa-class battleship. We have all of our damage control pretty much taken care of. The peak tank is still under repair, but we are now showing on our main status board minor damage, no flooding, 100% efficiency in speed, turning, and I guess in efficiency in terms of how we're able to change speed and direction. That is cool stuff. That is really cool stuff. Ise, not so much cool stuff. Ultimately, she was actually a pretty cool ship. Again, she was converted later in her career to be a battle carrier, so she could launch and recover aircraft. But Yano, in this particular specification, not so great because she is about to go meet Davy Jones in his locker. Yeah, that fire is only getting worse. Yeah. Good stuff. Hopefully we got as many people out as we could. She's about to start killing over. And meanwhile, New Jersey continues to make her way toward her location. Yep, beneath the waves here for Ise. Goodbye. So continue that roll all the way down to the seafloor, I guess. There's the ocean floor. She's a cool looking ship, I gotta say. Pagoda style superstructure that was so stereotypical for the Imperial Japanese Navy. 4 screws, I assume turbine propulsion, steam turbines, as was the convention in the era. But yeah. Just no match for the mighty Iowa class. USS New Jersey, victorious. You can see it takes a little bit longer to take care of these battles because we don't have missiles. Not like Cold Waters, where we have the Iowas in their 1980s configurations, which is the configurations you'll still see them in today if you were to go visit one. But here, just with gunnery. But we do have that secondary battery, which is very useful. And we have proper fire control directors. So that's also just a cool factor. So generally, I am liking this game an awful lot, and I think we're going to see more of it. But yeah, New Jersey victorious, fighting against an opponent that she may well have actually come across in reality. I don't think that it actually happened, but it was possible. Ise, in particular, I think she was sunk during a raid on Kure, not the Kure Atoll, but Kure in Japan, where Japan had their main shipyards for building a lot of the later era ships in the Imperial Japanese Navy, such as Yamato. But Ise was at Kure, and she was sunk during one of those raids there. However, not the case here. Ise meets her fate at the hands of the 16-inch main batteries on New Jersey. Very cool stuff.